Ma'am.
Morning.
So is it clear?
Yeah, yes, madam. Yes. Please continue.
Okay. Sir, are there anybody to join? Shall I continue?
Yeah, madam. Madam, please you proceed. They are joining. Most of the 20 students are already joined. Please continue.
Okay, sir. Right. Okay. Good morning, girls. Once again, all of you. So till yesterday, we have completed with the general characters of the bryophytes. Okay, how the morphology is, how the reproduction it is carried out, and what are all the characters we have studied till yesterday. So from today, we'll start with the life cycle of 3 genera, that is Markantia, Anthoceros, and Polytrichum. These are the 3 genera given in your syllabus. So first from today, we'll start with the life cycle of Markantia. So how the life cycle we will study means, so first we'll study with the classification, that is Markantia belongs to what type of classification, it belongs to which order, which class, and which family and all that. Then we'll go with the study of its morphological character, that is how the Markantia look when we see that on the habitat. Okay, what is the structure, how it is in detail we'll study regarding the morphology. After that, we'll go into the internal structure, that is anatomy. When we take the TS, how the cells or the tissues appear, that is the anatomy. Now, after that anatomy, we'll go for the reproduction point of view and then the life cycle. So that is the separate topics what we are going to study in the life cycle. So we'll start today with the Markantia. Right. So what is the systematic position? Systematic position is nothing but the classification. Okay. So this Markantia, it belongs to the division called as Bryophyta and the class called as Hepaticopsida. It belongs to the order Markantiales, family Markantiaceae, and genus Markantia. ఎప్పుడు కూడా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండమ్మా, క్లాసిఫికేషన్ మనం ఏ టైప్ స్టడీ రాస్తున్నప్పుడు కంపల్సరీ వీ షుడ్ రైట్ ద క్లాసిఫికేషన్ ఆన్ ద రైట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ పేజ్. మీరు ఏ ఆన్సర్ రాస్తున్నా కూడా యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ది క్లాసిఫికేషన్ ఆన్ ది రైట్ సైడ్ విత్ ద కంప్లీట్ నేమ్స్. కొందరు ఏం చేస్తారు, డిసి ఫస్ట్ లెటర్స్ ఆఫ్ ది వర్డ్స్ పెట్టి దే విల్ రైట్ ద క్లాసిఫికేషన్. దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ కరెక్ట్. యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ద కంప్లీట్ name of that particular rank, the complete word you are supposed to write. Okay, division Bryophyta, class Hepaticopsida, itla mottam rayali. Okay, right. Now why this Markantia is included in the Bryophyta? So koncham deni gurinchi description eldamu. Next we'll go for the gametophyte structure. Why it belongs to the Bryophyta division, Bryophyta. Enduku ee Markantia ni బ్రయోఫైటాలో పెట్టారు, ఎందుకు అంటే దిస్ ఈస్ ద ఫస్ట్ ల్యాండ్ ప్లాంట్. సో బ్రయోఫైటా అపియర్ టు బి గ్రోయింగ్ ఇన్ ది మాయిస్ట్ సాయిల్. సో అందుకని దిస్ వాజ్ ఇంక్లూడెడ్ ఇన్ ది బ్రయోఫైటా. నెక్స్ట్ ఇట్ బిలాంగ్స్ టు ది క్లాస్ హెపాటికాప్సిడా. హెపాటికా అంటే ఇట్స్ సమ్వాట్ రిలేటెడ్ టు ది స్ట్రక్చర్ ఆఫ్ ఏ లివర్. ఓకే, మన బాడీలో ఉన్న లివర్ షేప్ ఎట్లా ఉంటుందో, ఇట్స్ ద రిజెంబ్లెన్స్ ఆఫ్ దట్ పర్టిక్యులర్ ప్లాంట్ విల్ బి లైక్ దట్. సో ఇట్ బిలాంగ్స్ డ్యూ టు ది షేప్ ఆఫ్ ద థాలస్, ఇట్ వాజ్ ఇంక్లూడెడ్ అండర్ ది క్లాస్ హెపాటికాప్సిడా. నెక్స్ట్ ఆర్డర్ మార్కాన్షియల్స్. నౌ వై ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంక్లూడెడ్ అండర్ ది ఆర్డర్ మార్కాన్షియల్స్? ఎందుకు అంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ షోయింగ్ ద థాలస్ dorsiventral thallus, prostrate thallus. Gametophyte వచ్చేసి మనకి it is showing the knob or notches on the thallus, and we can see the presence of inbuilt sporophyte. All these characters, they comes under this order Markantiales and the Markantiaceae. Now in detail we'll go with the structure or the gametophyte of the Markantia. So first we'll study where this Markantia is occurring, where it is going to be found. Now, The genus Marchantia, it includes about 65 species which are distributed all over the world. It is not restricted only to one place. We can see this Marchantia distributed all over the world with around 65 species. And in India, it was reported to be around 11 species were found in India in different places. Now, all these species, they are terrestrial. Terrestrial ante cheppam kada, land plants. They are growing on moist, shady places. That is a characteristic feature of a bryophyte. Terrestrial and growing on a moist. It should have the moist, shady places. That means it should not receive more amount of sunlight. Damp soil, moist rocks, and also at the banks of the streams. And మనకి వాగులు వంకల bank అంటే ఆ ఒడ్డున we can see the growth of these bryophytes. Now, common species what we can see in India are Marchantia polymorpha, Marchantia palmata, Marchantia nepalensis, Marchantia indica, and Marchantia simlana. So these are certain species which were discovered till now in India, and generally we are going to study about the Marchantia polymorpha structure in our type study. Now, so we'll see now the gametophytic generation. That is how the plant body. I already discussed yesterday in the class that the bryophyte plant body is called as a gametophyte. Now, how is this Marchantia gametophyte now? So when we talk about the vegetative structure or the morphological structure of the Marchantia, you can see here. It is a lobed thallus. And one more important point here I want to tell you it is dorsiventral surface. Okay, so the thallus of the Marchantia is dorsiventral. Ante enti? Can anybody explain me what is dorsiventral? Leaf is a normal general angiospermic leaf is a dorsiventral leaf antam, except grasses. Grasses kavu takina leaves anni kuda dorsiventral leaves అని అంటాం. ఎందుకు? Can anybody know? Okay, I'll explain. ఎందుకంటే leaf, when we see the upper surface and the lower surface, there is certain difference. The upper surface of the leaf is dark green in color, and when we compare to the lower side of the leaf, it is light green in color. Okay, and also on the upper surface we see only less number of stomata, whereas when the lower surface we'll see many number of stomata. So there is a difference lying between the upper surface, that we call it as the dorsal side, and the lower surface of the leaf we call it as the ventral side. So there is a difference lying between. So that's why it is called as a dorsiventral leaf. So just like that, in the Marchantia, the thallus of Marchantia is also a dorsiventral thallus. Enduku ante the dorsal side is different from the ventral side. So what is the dorsal surface? How is the dorsal surface here? Ante manaki chudangane kanapadedi dorsal surface. Okay, so how is this? So you can see here it consists of it is lobed thallus. You can see here it is a lobe. This is one lobe, this is second lobe, this is third lobe. And so each lobe here, it is going to have a central midrib. Line kanpadutundi chusara. This is called, just like a leaf, you can see a central midrib region, which is getting deepen at the apex. And the apical region kochesariki, top region kochesariki, ikkada you can see certain deepened structure. Okay, now so each lobe of the thallus is going to have a prominent midrib region. Next important point here is ఈ midrib region లో మీకు ఇక్కడ కొన్ని కప్ లాంటి స్ట్రక్చర్స్ కనపడుతున్నాయి. కనపడాయా? Can you see this, ma'am?
Yes.
Right. So these cup-like structures, they are called as gemme cups. Okay, they are playing an important role in the vegetative reproduction. So in this gemme cups, we can see the presence of some spore-like structures which are called as gemme, helpful for reproduction. Okay, now next on these thallus, okay, we can see the development of the sexual organs which are called as antheridophores. This is the dorsal. So at the same time, this is green in color. Okay, so make in the starting slide lo chuvinchanu how is the marcantia. A color lo undamma ikkada chudandi. This is the live material. You can see this one. Okay, make ikkada region ikkadanta kuda you can see the lobe. This is one lobe, this is another lobe. You can see the margin over here. Clear? Right. So it is green in color, branched, lobed thallus, having the central midrib or the prominent midrib region consisting of the gemme cups. And at the time of reproduction, from this dorsal surface of the thallus, it possesses the reproductive branches, which is called as antheridophores and the archegoniophores. So this is the structure of the dorsal surface of the marcantia. Now when we go for the ventral surface, ante enti? Ventral surface ante kindi bhagam. Dorsal surface ante pai bhagam ani cheppam kada. Ippudu deen kinda ela untundi. So this is the ventral surface. Now in this ventral surface, you can see the presence of a median groove. Median groove ante just like a midrib. Manaku paina midrib ela aithe kanvadutundo ikkada kuda oka same ade continuation laga untundi. Midrib or mid groove antaru. Now attached to this midrib or the mid groove or median groove, we can see the presence of certain hair-like structures called as rhizoids and scales. I repeat, on the dorsal surface, on the ventral surface, in this median groove, you can see the formation of small hair-like structures which are called as rhizoids and scales. Now, what are these rhizoids? So, Japan rhizoids are small hair-like structures or root-like structures. So, you can see these are the rhizoids. Okay, helping the plant or helping this thallus to fix to the soil surface. Ante ee thallus manaki bhumiloki attach avvali kada. For that purpose, rhizoids play an important role. So they will help in fixing the thallus to the soil and also for absorbing the water from the soil surface. Okay. Now, when we talk about these rhizoids, there are two types of rhizoids. One is called as smooth-walled rhizoids and another one is called as tuberculate. Now, what is the smooth-walled? So, మనం ఈ rhizoids చూసే కనుక so this is the smooth-walled. ఇదేంటి మనకి ఇన్నర్ వాల్స్ అంటే ఒక ట్యూబ్ లాగా కనపడుతుంది ఈ rhizoid అనేది. When we observe under the microscope, it appears just like a tube. మన వాటర్ పైప్ ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది ట్యూబ్, same like that it will be absorbed. It will be seen under the microscope. Now, ఇంకొక type of rhizoids ఏంటి? Tuberculate. So this is tuberculate. అంటే ఏంటి ఇక్కడ inner side you can see certain hurdles. అంటే ఏంటంటే కొన్ని disturbance లాగా కనపడుతుంది మధ్యలో ఇక్కడ చూడండి. Okay, these are the ingrowths of the inner membrane. అంటే కొంచెం membrane ఇలా బోర్డ్స్ లాగా బయటికి వచ్చినట్టు కనపడుతుంది. Okay, so they help in absorbing and they retain the moisture. They help in retaining the moisture. అంటే ఎప్పుడైతే డ్రై కండిషన్స్ వచ్చినాయో ఈ మాయిశ్చర్ ఈ రైజాయిడ్స్ లో ఉన్న మాయిశ్చర్ ని ఇవి అబ్జార్బ్ చేసి it will send this to the thallus. So these are the two different types of rhizoids you can see or observe on the ventral surface of the thallus. Next, apart from this, you are going to see the another type of hair-like structures. We call them as the scales. Now, what are these scales? So you can see here. Scales are the one which are helping in, these are also having a sharp tips. When compared to the rhizoid, they are having the sharp tips and they help in secreting the mucilage and protecting the growing point from the desiccation. Ante manaki ivi endipokunda ఏమంటారు disturb avakunda undadaniki these will help out, okay, helping in the plant not to get dry up. Next, we'll go with the next slide. So this is the dorsal surface and the ventral surface of the thallus. Now we are going into the internal structure. Internal structure ante anatomy. Internal structure ante ఏంటమ్మా ఇక్కడ anatomy. అంటే when we take the transverse section of the thallus ni transverse section చేస్తే మనకి microscope కింద you can observe the structure like this. Now the internal structure of the thallus is differentiated into 3 regions. Now what are those 3 regions? First region is called as epidermal region. Second region is called as photosynthetic region. And third region is called as the storage. This is the first one, epidermis. This is the second region, photosynthetic region. And this third one is called as the storage. Any regions unnayama internal ga when we observe?
3 regions.
What are those?
First, epidermal region, photosynthetic region, storage zone.
Very good. Yes. Now, so first we'll go one by one. What is the epidermal region? So epidermal region, epidermis is always constitutes the outermost layer of the any thallus. Okay. So even Markantia, it is also surrounded by the epidermis. Okay. So we can see here presence of 2 epidermis. As it is a dorsiventral thallus, so we can see the presence of 2 epidermis. This is the upper epidermis, and on the ventral surface you can see the lower epidermis. Okay, so there are 2 epidermal regions, upper and the lower surface. Now, in the upper epidermis, here you can see the presence of small pore-like structures or a barrel-shaped pores, which are called as apore. Okay, so these are the openings on the thallus by which the gaseous exchange will happens or it will take place. That is exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen into the thallus takes place through these air pores only. Now, this is regarding the upper epidermis. It is a single layered. We can see the barrel-shaped cells, and also we can see the presence of openings, which is called as the air pore, through which the gaseous exchange will happen. Now, when we go to the lower epidermis is continuous. And we can see the cells arranged side by side in a single layer. There is no interruption like this. Only in the upper epidermis you can see the presence of the air pores, but not on the lower epidermis. Fine. Next, from the lower epidermis, we can see the formation of rhizoids as well as the scales, which are helping in the plant to fix to the soil. Okay, so from the lower epidermis, scales and the rhizoids will evolve, helping in the absorption and fixation, whereas the upper epidermis possesses the air pores for gaseous exchange. So this is regarding the epidermal region. And the main important function of this is it is gives the protection for the thallus. Now next we go for the second region. So second region in Japan, photosynthetic region or the photosynthetic zone. So this is the photosynthetic zone. This is also called as assimilation zone ani kuda pilustam. Assimilation. That means to say it is preparing. This zone plays a role of preparing the food material or photosynthesis. So what does this zone consist of? So E zone lo you can see certain cells. These are also parenchymatous cells which are arranged one above the other. There are certain cells which are arranged one above the other, and they will be dividing. So due to these filamentous structures, they form certain chambers. We call them as air chambers. Okay, so the cells are arranged in a linear fashion like this and separating this zone into air chambers. Okay, so compact cells and compact ga em levu ila duram duranga unnai in the form of the filaments, and the cells will be arranged in the form of one above the other. So we call them as photosynthetic or assimilatory filaments. Okay, right. Now, so in these assimilatory filaments, we can see the presence of chloroplast, and this zone is a green colored zone. So as the chloroplasts are there, they consist of the chlorophyll pigment and helping in the performing the photosynthesis. Am I clear, ma? I repeat this. Photosynthetic zone. This is the second region where the cell, the parenchymatic cells are arranged in the form of assimilatory filaments or photosynthetic filaments, which are separating each other. They are getting separated from each other with the help of the air chambers. So they consist of the air chambers here in this zone, which are separated by this septa, and we are calling them as assimilatory or the photosynthetic zone, consisting of chloroplast performing the photosynthesis. So this is the explanation of the photosynthetic zone. Now below that photosynthetic zone, you can see the tissue or a parenchymatous region where all the cells are very compactly arranged very close to each other, and this zone is a colorless zone. It does not contain any chlorophyll pigments or any chloroplast. The cells of them are very thin walled, and the main role of the storage, this third region is storage. If they are going to store the food material, which is the starch and also the protein bodies. So there are certain cells also we can see they are storing the mucilage or the oil bodies. Okay, so this zone is always preferred for storage. So that's why the zone is called as the storage zone. Am I clear more about this?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So this is regarding the internal structure. This is a very important question, ma'am. Okay, every time, like in the exam point of view, this is a very important question. Epidermal region, photosynthetic region, and the storage region. So this is a internal structure or the anatomy of the Mercantia thallus. Now next we'll go further reproduction point of view. Now, so the reproduction here in the Mercantia is carried out. So ikkada chudandi Mercantia structure enta baga kanpadutundi thallus. On the ventral side, you can see the development of root-like structures. We are calling it as rhizoids. On the dorsal side, you can see the prominent midrib region And in the midrib, you can see these cup-like structures, we call them as the gemma. Okay, now, so when you talk about the reproduction, the Markhantia is undergoing vegetative reproduction, asexual, and also the sexual reproduction. So vegetative reproduction is carried out by fragmentation or adventitious branches. And fragmentation and if any part of this thallus is getting separated from this main plant, now that fragment or that bit or that piece of the thallus is having the capacity to develop the rhizoids from the ventral side, and it can behave like a new plant again. So that is the fragmentation. And adventitious branches also. That means any branch or any lobe of this Markhantia, if it is getting separated, that develop into a new plant. Now, next, when you talk about the asexual reproduction, it is carried out with the help of these gemma cups. So this is the structure of the gemma cup present in the prominent or this midrib region. Now, in this cup, you can see the presence of the spore-like structures, which are called as gemma. Okay, so these gemma here, you can see they are in the form of, they are stalked. You can see a small stalk here, and on the stalk, you can see a knob-like structure. Okay, so this is a knob-like structure showing an 8-shaped structure. అంటే ఇక్కడ మీకు ఒక ఈ knob కాస్త మధ్యలో ఇట్లా ఒత్తుకుపోయి it is showing appearing just like a 8-shaped structure. Okay, so this gemma is full of stored food material. Okay, so this is acting just like a spore, stalked one, storing the food material. And whenever these gemma, when they get detached or when they are released from this gemma cup, when they fall onto the substratum, that is, ఈ gemma ఎప్పుడైతే వీటి నుంచి separate అయిపోయి వేరే చోట పడతాయో, they will germinate and produce a new thallus again. Okay, so this is regarding the structure. So mainly the food material, what it is stored here, it is oil globules and the starch. So this is regarding the gemma cup and the gemma, which are developed on the dorsal surface on the midrib, prominent midrib region. Right. Now we'll go for the sexual reproduction.
Madam Ji,
Okay.
These gemma cups morphologically, structurally, the gemma cups looks like a pulley wheel. మనము చేదుకునే గిరిక ఉంటే చూసినరామా, బావి, చేద బావి, ఇలా గిరికతో మనం వాటర్ను బావి నుంచి చేదుతాం కదా, అలా చేదుతుండేటువంటి ఆ వీల్, ఆ గిరిక ఎలా ఉంటుందో ఈ జెమ్మ కూడా అలాగే ఉంటుందమ్మా. జెమ్మ. ఓకేనా? రైట్ మేడం, ప్లీజ్ కంటిన్యూ.
Okay, sir, thank you. Now when we go for the sexual reproduction, Markhantia undergo oogamous type of sexual reproduction. So that means we can see clearly the two different types of sexual organs, that is the antheridia and the archegonia. And another important point here is the depending upon, so we'll go for that. So the male sex organ is called as antheridia and the female sexual organ is called as archegonia. So structurally, they both are different from one another, and also functionally they are different. So that's why this type of reproduction is called as oogamous type of reproduction. And so depending upon where these antheridia and archegonia are developed, are they formed on the same thallus or they are formed on the different thallus? So depending on in this point of view, the Markhantia species or the Markhantia thallus is considered as dioecious thallus. There are two terms, monoecious and dioecious. Now, what is this monoecious or dioecious condition? Monoecious condition ante, if antheridia, if both the sex organs, antheridia as well as the archegonia, if they both are developed within the same thallus or within the same plant body, then that condition is called as monoecious condition. Kani Markantia enti, Markantia is a dioecious one. That means to say antheridia is developed on one thallus or one plant body, and archegonia are developed on another plant body. Until we can say that thallus is considered as a male and a female. Antheridia is always a male sexual organ. A thallus paina antheridia develop avutayo, we can consider that as a male thallus. And the thallus which is developing archegonia, that is called as female thallus. So they both are separate. In Markantia, male plant is separate and the female plant is separate. So that condition is called as dioecious condition.
ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ మీ మేడం,
Yes.
తెలుగులోమా ఇప్పుడు మేడం గారు చెప్పినట్టు ఈ థాలస్ పైన కేవలము స్త్రీ ప్రత్యుత్పత్తి నిర్మాణాలైనటువంటి ఆర్కిగోనియా మాత్రమే ఉంటే అది స్త్రీ మొక్కకు సంబంధించినటువంటి నిర్మాణంగా చెప్పుకుంటాం. ఆంతరేడియా ఉంటే పురుష ప్రత్యుత్పత్తి సంబంధించినటువంటి లైంగిక ప్రత్యుత్పత్తి సంబంధించిన నిర్మాణంగా చెప్పుకుంటాం. ఈ రెండు వేరు వేరు థాలస్ పైన ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి వీటిని మనం ఏమని పిలుస్తామంటే ఏకలింగాశ్రయాలు అని పిలుస్తాం. ఇంగ్లీష్ లో డైసియస్ అంటాం. ఏకలింగాశ్రయ, ఏక అంటే ఏదేని ఒక ప్రత్యుత్పత్తి నిర్మాణం మాత్రమే ఉంటే అది మనము ఏకలింగాశ్రయ అంటాం. కానీ ఇంగ్లీష్ లో మాత్రం డైసియస్ అంటాం. ఒకవేళ రెండు కూడా స్త్రీ మరియు పురుష ప్రత్యుత్పత్తి నిర్మాణాలైన ఆర్కిగోనియా మరియు ఆంతరీడియా రెండు కూడా ఒకే థాలస్ పైన ఉంటే దాన్ని మనము ఏమని పిలుస్తామంటే మొనీషియస్ అంటాం. మొనీషియస్ అని పిలుస్తాం. బట్ అవర్ మార్కాన్షియా ఇస్ ఏ డైఈషియస్ అంటే ఏకలింగాశ్రయి, అంటే పురుష మొక్క వేరుగా ఉంటుంది, స్త్రీ మొక్క వేరుగా ఉంటుంది. మేడం ప్లీజ్ కంటిన్యూ.
Yes sir, thank you. Right. Now, so right, now we'll continue with the structure of this male thallus as well as the female thallus with respect to the sexual organs, that is the male sexual organ and the female sexual organ. So inkoka important point of the Markantia is, when we talk about the antheridia and the archegonia, so they are developed on a specialized stalk or the branch, which is called as receptacle, or we are also calling it as gametophore. Ikkada gameto ante sexual organ, phore ante oka stalk lanti structure. Okay, so general ga bryophytes lo we can see the sexual organs produced inside the thallus. Okay, but here in Markantia, they are projecting out, they are exposed out, and they are developed on this stalk, which is called as the receptacle or the gametophore. Idoka important character of the Markantia. In Markantia, the gametes or the sexual organs, they are developed on a receptacle or on a gametophore. Right. So when we talk about the male thallus, what does it consist of? The male sexual organ, which is called as antheridia. Now, how are these antheridia? These antheridia, they are developed on a stalk. So hence, that is called as antheridiophore. Okay. So on the male thallus, if antheridia, the antheridia which is developed on the gametophore or the stalk, so that complete structure is called as antheridiophore. Whereas in the female thallus, the archegonia, if they are developed on the stalk, that complete structure is represented as archegoniophore. So ee rendu kuda chala important points in the Markantia. Antheridia are developed on antheridiophore, whereas archegonia, they are developed on the archegoniophore. And these are developed on the dorsal surface of the thallus only. All this antheridiophore as well as the archegoniophore, during the reproduction, they are developed on the dorsal surface. Right. Now, when we go to the structure, okay. Now, when we go for the structure of the antheridiophore and the archegoniophore, so this is the complete structure of the antheridiophore. On the male thallus, reproduction జరిగేటప్పుడు thallus పైన ఈ antheridiophore అనేది form అవుతుంది. So this antheridiophore, it is differentiated into, this is the long stalk, what we call it as antheridiophore, and at the top of this, you can see a disc-like structure. Disc అంటే మనకి throwing disc ఆడతాం చూడండి మనం, disc. Okay.
ఛత్రం అంటే నిర్మాణం, ఛత్రం అంటే నిర్మాణం.
Umbrella, ఒక umbrella లాంటి structure. Okay. This appears just like a disc, which is 8-lobed. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is an 8-lobed disc on the stalk of the antheridiophore. Okay. Now, so in this disc, you can see this disc here. This disc consists of certain grooves. So ikkada chudandi, grooves ante entante ikkada guntalaga kanpadtayi. You can see here, these are the grooves. Okay, 8 lobed unnai kabatti we can see 8 grooves towards the inner side. Now, within this, we can see the presence of this groove can also be called as antheridial chamber. So in this antheridial chamber, we can see the development of the male sexual organ, which is called as the antheridia. Okay, this groove, this is called as antheridial chamber. In this, we can see the development of this male sexual organ called as antheridia. So we can see here, this antheridia, when we talk about the structure, it is a globose structure having a stalk and a globe-like structure at the top, surrounded by a single layer of jacket layer, giving the protection. And internal to this antheridia, you can see the presence of the spore mother cells, which is called as androcyte mother cell, from which the gametes, the male gametes called as antherozoids, they will be produced. Okay, so this is regarding the structure of the antheridiophore. And you can see here on the top of the each antheridial chamber, you can see an opening. It is not closed. We can see an opening at the top of the antheridial chamber, which is called as osteo. Osteo అంటే ఎప్పుడు కూడా opening.
ముఖరంధ్రము. ఆస్టియోలు ఏమంటామంటే తెలుగులో ముఖరంధ్రము అంటాం. ముఖరంధ్రము. ఈ మనకు ఈ అంతరేడియం అనేటువంటిది పురుష ప్రత్యుత్పత్తి నిర్మాణానికి సంబంధించి